Okay, welcome to the Southern Indiana Preps Podcast. I'm here with special guest, senior Providence Pioneer, Courtney Glotzbach. We're here to talk a little bit about the special season that the Providence volleyball team's having. Courtney, how are we doing today?
I'm good, how are you?
Pretty good. So what's been, obviously you guys got off to a great start. You had some big wins early in the year. I think the Mercy Academy, they're in the national rankings, and you guys have been in the national rankings, so that's kind of one of the marquee wins. And you guys just kind of take off from the get-go early in the season this year?
Yeah, we had a really good preseason and summer. We always start out conditioning as soon as the previous school year ends, and from then it had been really strong. Everybody worked hard in conditioning. Then we had a little bit of a slump at Purdue camp. We, I think, won 7 in a row. We didn't win this past one, but we kind of decided that wasn't going to determine our season. That kind of wasn't realistic. Those games are timed, and we were kind of frantic because we were down in that situation, and then we ended up losing, which was okay because it doesn't go on our record. And then from there, we had our team meeting at our retreat, and we just decided that with this team, we were just going to make it the best we could. We didn't know that we weren't going to lose any games until Newcastle. We were just going to do the best we could with the people we had, and we have it. It's been really fun so far.
So, you've recently had the senior night this week. Emotions had to be a little bit high there, but what was that? A pretty special evening? You have 5 other seniors, or 4 other seniors, as well as your manager as well. But what was that experience like for you?
It was very emotional. Considering obviously Maggie Perica is the daughter of the coach, and there's 2 other daughters on the team. So just having that, and then all of us are just so close and Cece and Allie are best friends, and I'm best friends with Anna Perica. So it's just all of us together. Everybody was crying. It was emotional. We just don't want to see each other leave, but I know that our underclassmen are excited to see us go off and do the best we can in college.
All right. What is looking back at you growing up here, and when you first got into volleyball, was that your first love as far as sports go, or was there some getting used to it or anything like that?
Well, I started out with volleyball, basketball, and dance, and then dance immediately went out the door. That wasn't even an option. And then it just turned into volleyball and basketball. And basketball, I didn't really like it, so then I just focused on volleyball. And that just kind of I fell in love with it. I had Coach P coming in my 14th season for club, and it was just I just knew I wanted to focus on that. That's what I wanted to do for the next 8 years of my life. And,
Very cool. So, club volleyball is huge, and, but the high school team, growing up in the middle schools, this program's always been strong, but did it kind of just take off those years, and you were here watching and that sort of thing?
Yeah, from what I remember, starting probably my 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade years at Holy Family, which is a deanery school that feeds into Providence. I just remember how strong Providence volleyball was, and how I just could not wait to get in there. And then they just started going to state every single year, and then it was my turn to get up there, and I was just so unbelievably excited to be a part of a program that had taken off like it did.
Okay. Yeah, were you with some of your middle school teammates, did you guys kind of attend the games together? And that was kind of the highlight of the day, or what?
Yeah. All of us we all came from the deanery schools. There's probably half of the team that came from Holy Family, just from that 7th and 8th grade team. So we had constantly played together at deanery and club, and then we all came in at once to Providence, and it's kind of been history since then.
So, and then, just the strength of the program when you come in as freshmen. I mean, was there a competitive atmosphere at that point to kind of prove yourself, and what was that experience like?
It was extremely competitive. There weren't many holes on varsity to fill whenever we got in there. They lost a really good class, and the upperclassmen were good. They had Marissa Horn on Lexi Williams, Mia Fujarush, who didn't play in college, Cheyenne Brooks. But there are multiple people who went off and played in college, so there weren't many holes to fill, but the ones that needed to be filled were big. And we knew like this senior class and then the junior class after us that like we were going to fill those holes and we were going to have to be those people. So it was extremely competitive trying to fight for one of those spots and trying to be that person that those little girls are looking up to now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you guys have talked about, with talking with all of you seniors, just the cohesiveness of the group, and I think somebody said the refusal to kind of give up the positive energy that becomes contagious, I guess.
Yeah.
How does that become such a strong force, I guess, for you guys?
Yeah, it's always hard playing a team that like just loves each other, and we are that team. Like whenever we go in and we're playing a team, and whenever they start to get down, we can just tell like they start fighting. Like we know there's little holes that we can pick on.
You smell blood.
Yeah, like we know like this is what we need to do to get them to go at each other.
Okay.
And then from that point on, like it's honestly it's not as hard to beat a team like that, but it's so hard to beat a team that loves each other and wants to play for each other and just doesn't want to let anybody down.
Okay. Talk about your relationship with Coach Perica. What's that been like, and how has she kind of pushed you to mold you to become the player you have?
I've always been involved with Coach Perica, as have everybody else in this program. We've always had a strong relationship. I was with her on her 14s club year, and then I was on varsity my freshman year through now. So I've always been like in her hands, and the respect that I have for her and that everybody has for her is unbelievable. We all trust what she says, and just kind of, she's everybody's mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So.
That's a lot of children, I guess. But
yes, a lot.
Great coaches tend to create that vibe and that those relationships.
Yeah.
What else here? So as far as the strength of schedule is something we've talked about. You obviously played Mercy, you played Castle. I think there are 2 or 3 in the country in one of the polls, and who else have you played that you've been impressed with? You guys are getting ready to head to Brownstown as we record this today. It's a quality team, and some of the teams around here as well are pretty solid.
Yeah, we have obviously Brownstown, Hamilton Southeastern. We played in a tournament. They're very good. Bishop Dwenger is very good. We played them on the same day that we played Newcastle. Before we played Newcastle, which might have been a little bit of a factor.
Okay.
I think that went 4 sets, but just every single game that we played, we see them as a rival and we see them as big competition. And like the ones that actually are, like Mercy, Hamilton Southeastern, the ones that can hang with us a little bit more, just the rivalries are unbelievable.
Okay. Has that made you better over these last couple of years playing that type of schedule?
Yeah, it definitely has. Like playing in those weekend tournaments, that's definitely an advantage. And playing those hard teams before we get to postseason has definitely helped us later on.
Yeah, I mean, what can you guys have obviously won a state championship at the 3A level and recently, and then what would it mean to do it at the 4A level for a school that's truly a smaller 2A school?
Yeah, it would just be unreal. It would be proving everybody in the state wrong that a little 2A, almost 1A school can win a state championship at the 4A level, and that we are that good, and just showing people that like we have what it takes.
Okay. I think that should do it. Thank you, Courtney, for joining me. I appreciate it. Welcome back to the Southern Indiana Preps Podcast. I'm Craig Pearson back with Josh Cook. We're going to talk Week 8 high school football matchups. Josh, we've got some good ones this week. We've got, let's start with Mid-Southern Conference ball game. Clarksville, 1-6, is at Corridon Central. The Generals are sitting at 1-6, but they are, they played pretty well at Brownstown last week, right? I mean, they are against Brownstown at home in that home ball game. 32 first half points.
They put up some points, that's for sure. That's good. So it's a good start. And if they can just play some defense and stop Corridon, I think they might have a chance here. This is a very winnable game for Clarksville. I know Justin said they're getting Clayton Aranda, their leading tackler, back this week. I guess he's probably been injured, but
Okay.
Keyshawn and Davon, they've got some offense. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they've got a couple winnable games. I think is it Eastern or not Eastern? Their next week is oh shoot. Anyway, and
It's
then
winnable, we'll say.
I think it was. I think Coach Bozier was upbeat about both of the next 2 weeks ball games as well. So the other matchups moving up to the Hoosier Hills Conference. New Albany is at Madison. They're on the road, and another winnable ball game here. The Bulldogs again like Clarksville, I suppose, had some nice offensive performances last week.
Yeah, that was a nice win for them over Seymour last week, 20-17. Seymour's not bad, and New Albany's definitely got a chance here to get some momentum as the season comes to an end here in the last few weeks of the regular season.
Absolutely, yeah. I think as all of our Hoosier Hills Conference teams, the schedule is front loaded with the bigger schools, and now they get to maybe pick on some of the smaller schools in the league and then see if they can't, like you said, get some momentum going in the postseason. So, and that's a young Bulldog squad that it was maybe destined to improve anyways, as Coach Cooley has hoped and talked about. But
I think they have. By looking at that game against Seymour, Seymour played Brownstown tough the week before. So,
right.
It's impressive.
That's a good sign. And we'll get to Brownstown and then one of our teams at Silver Creek looking to go to 8-0 up there and what's essentially the conference championship. We'll get to that before we're finished here. But moving ahead, Providence also looking for a second straight win, coming off the win over Mitchell. They are at Milan.
Milan, as I heard one TV anchor say a couple of years ago.
Okay. Well, they're headed to the exotic
Italy,
exotic Milan.
Oh, Lord.
But the Pioneers are looking to get another W, but Milan is 5-2. So what do we think about this matchup?
Yeah, Milan's no pushover, that's for sure. They've won 3 in a row, and their quarterback's thrown for 1,100 yards, almost 1,217 touchdowns. So Providence is going to have to stop the pass, and then on the flip side, Milan's going to have to stop Providence's rushing attack. So we'll see what happens in the TP, no less.
All right. Here in Clark County, Jennings County visits Jeffersonville at Blair Field, and we've got, again, a chance for an HHC team here locally to try and get a W. And the Jeff offense showed off some big play potential last week with Sean Wimberly and hooking up with some big pass plays last week.
Yeah, that was another good sign for the Red Devils and Coach Isaac Parker. But they haven't really had that big passing game so far this year, so that was kind of their breakout. We'll see if they can continue that against Jennings. But Isaac Finley also ran for 173 yards. So
absolutely,
that's another good sign too.
Right, so. That's a team that maybe they're rounding into form there with the first year head coach, and they're. The kids are buying into what they're trying to do and then starting to believe in themselves, perhaps, right? I mean, they could be a factor in that 5A sectional.
Yeah, they're getting, again, like New Albany, they're picking up momentum. Jeff's got they host Bedford next week, which will be a good barometer for them. So we'll see how far they've come by that game.
Okay. Speaking of Bedford, they are in Floyd County at Floyd Central at Wiggum Stadium, and Coach Steve Weber's squad comes in at 2-5, coming off of a really good 2018 and coming down to earth a little bit. But the Highlanders, it's a good opportunity to get a home win. I believe it's senior night for some of those guys, and chance for Winkers Wright to rack up some more big yardage.
Yeah, I would think so. Especially Floyd might want to get revenge too, being they'll beat them 35-7 in the sectional last year, so this might be a little bit of a payback game for Floyd as well.
Okay, that's always fun. Salem is at Charlestown, 5-2. Yeah, 2 5-2 squads there. What is it? 4 in a row. Charlestown's won 4 in a row right now. 5 in a row. Yeah, that's right. They started 0-2, of course. What have you saw Charlestown last week? What did you like about what you saw there?
Well, there's a lot to like against Corden, that's for sure. They shut them out 41-0. Marion Luke's had a huge game, and pretty much everything was clicking. They didn't have a whole lot of passing yards, but still, as long as Marion's running the ball like that, they're good. Salem beat them last year in the sectional, so again, a little bit of payback here. Charlestown's hoping for on their senior night.
All right,
and
it's payback week. All right,
it is payback week, so we'll see. I like Charlestown in this game, but I expect it won't be easy, that's for sure.
Okay. While we're on the topic of Marion Lukes, you changed his college decision. He is now headed to Central Michigan to be a Chippewa. And what were your thoughts on that?
One of my favorite nicknames in Division I. That was good. But no, I mean, it totally makes sense. I mean, just going to a bigger school. Eastern was 1AA or whatever it is now.
FCS, yeah.
They're going to the FBS here.
Right. Yeah, in the MAC, right? Yeah, absolutely. A chance to really test himself and see what he's made of at that level. Yeah, it's exciting.
We'll get to see him play on TV. I know the MAC's on TV. Every now and then, so that'd be nice too.
Sounds good. Another thing on Marion, we just touched on Winkers, right? The Natspies are a long way away in June, Josh, but where do you see that race right now? I mean, it's got to be kind of head-to-head with those two guys.
It's a two-horse race right now, that's for sure. We'll see who gets who at the tape. I don't know. It's going to be close, but also Marion does have a chance. Well, not a chance. He's
8 yards
away. If he falls forward, he's going to get to 8 yards and become 5,000-yard rusher. So
absolutely,
that'll be another milestone for him tonight. So that'll be cool.
I think they're neck and neck in total yards pretty much at this point.
Yeah, and touchdowns is very close too.
Right. It could come down to who gets through the postseason, which Charlestown has a tough sectional. But
I say we just have a foot race and see who wins.
Oh, that sounds fun. That's a good idea.
100-yard,
we'll
100-yard dash.
We'll bring that for you on the podcast. Maybe we'll see if we can set that up.
That'd be awesome.
But moving on to Silver Creek, we've got the big matchup of the week, I think, here with Silver Creek at Brownstown Central.
Big matchup of the year.
There we go, of the year. I mean, 2 7-0 teams. Creek got in the AP top 10 at number 9, and Brownstown, and that's in 4A, and Brownstown's, 5 and 3A?
Yep.
So it's a battle of a couple ranked teams, and I saw a little bit of Brownstown against Clarksville. They can certainly run the ball and get the ball down the field. They had 76 points in that ball game. Silver Creek's strength is certainly their defense, so that's kind of a very interesting matchup there of two teams going at it with their Silver Creek's kind of built to try to stop this team, aren't they?
Defense is going to be put to the test Friday night, that's for sure. But I mean, the key for stopping Brownstown is just stopping their quarterback, Derek Thompson. He's run for over 1,000 yards, and he's thrown for 400-something yards. So, that if you can contain him, you can have a good chance to win the game. So we'll see if the Dragons can do that.
Could be one of those games where some key turnovers. Can the Dragons create some turnovers? Can they avoid the turnovers on the offensive side, of course? And do we know anything about Dylan Myers? Is he potentially headed back yet, or?
I'm not liking his chances, but I haven't talked to Coach Pappenhouse, but I've heard that he probably is not going to play.
Sure.
But,
likely see Ben Landers, who's been doing a great job moving the ball with the power running game there, and variety of options for the Dragons. So that should do it for this week. Get out there and support your teams, and make sure you follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Subscribe on there, and we'll also be at newsandtribune.com, of course. Thanks for listening.